866-972-7247. And watch Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube, and share love and light.
The world is changing now, and we don't know where to go. The world is different now, and people have lost their way. It's just not easy to be who we want to be, 'cause the world is changing now. We can't walk the way we did. We don't know the path. We have to listen to our heart. The ways that worked before, they don't work anymore. We have lost our love for everyone. We have hurt each other. The world is changing now. It's asking us to move along, to open up a different way of loving one another. We can't stay the same. We've lost the game of life. We can't run away anymore. The world is changing now. We need to heed the warning. The world is calling you to rise above where you've been. The world is changing now. What we did before doesn't work. It's time for you. It's time for me to change. The world is changing now. Won't you change and open your heart? Open your heart.
Open your heart right here on the Oldies Station, and you're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah all across the nation at 866-972-7247. You've got questions, Spirit has answers, and we are in this beautiful place of connecting to our guides and our angels and learning how to listen to our own intuition. I mean, this is a time where we need to listen to our intuition. We need to trust that we have a message from the other side, that our guides and our angels are with us, that everything is according to plan. But as life throws us curveballs, and there's been quite a few curveballs going on, then we get questions. Things pop up. We need clarity. Sometimes we'll have a conversation with someone and we're left scratching our heads saying, what did I do wrong? Like, how did that conversation go south? I don't understand. You see, right now, where everyone is in their being, we're all being asked to jump up in our spirit. We're asked to step forward and really come to the understanding of who we are. And becoming who you are, who you've come to be, requires you to shed the old you. And that's where the resistance comes in. That's where the problems begin, because we don't like letting go of what we're used to. We don't like letting go of the story that we have. We don't always want to hear the answer to the question if it's not the answer that we thought it should be, if it's not the answer that we want. We wrestle with this. We don't always know when to let go. And the universe gives us so many prompts as to how we need to let go of relationships with people that maybe don't mirror back what we are feeling and wanting in our life. And we need to learn how to see ourselves as our own greatest strength and our own greatest cheerleader, and stop looking for so much validation outside. It's all internally available to you, but that's not how we're trained growing up. We're trained to get the approval of our parents. We're trained to get the connections with others and have them feed us and clothe us and protect us and put a roof over our head. So we are taught to constantly look outside ourselves. So of course we have questions. And most of us that don't seek spiritual guidance, we pray, we may ask God for a sign, but usually the average person asks their friend, their family member, their opinion. Dun, dun, dun. That's when we get in trouble. Because their opinion is based on their experiences, and some of them may be relative or a good source of an example, but no two souls are created the same. No two souls are meant to have the same exact outcome, because the cast of characters are always different. Your friends, your family is different than someone else's friends and family. Your relationship, even though you may say to someone, oh yes, my partner does the same thing, or my girlfriend is always talking about buying dresses and shoes, and another guy may say, yes, well, mine too, and you may conclude that maybe they are being too frivolous or not being cost effective. But the reason that both of those people may be choosing to buy shoes and clothes may be two totally different reasons. Besides the fact that maybe a woman would love to have a new pair of clothes and shoes on a regular basis, but sometimes there's a wound behind the purchase that makes them impulsive and want to go out and constantly change their external appearance or spruce it up because they don't feel good inside. You see, when we look at a story on the outside, you know not the inside story. You don't have the inside scoop. Spirit has the inside scoop. Spirit knows what the answers are. Spirit knows why the soul came into this very existence to be who it's come to be. You may not understand that. You may have a glimpse. You may know someone well enough and have enough insight into their personality to consider what makes them feel whole. But it's not really the whole story. Every day, in every way, we are each given an opportunity to grow. And we all have this powerful energy inside of us that will allow us to receive the answers to the questions that we seek by choosing to connect with Spirit, by choosing to embrace the messages that are shown to us. And yes, sometimes Spirit will use a person. This person may come to you as a well-meaning friend, and they may give you exactly the right bit of guidance you need, because Spirit uses them to think beyond their personal opinion, and they share information. So I'm not saying that asking your friends, your family, their opinion is a wrong move. It's just we can't take it as the answer that is certain, because their answers are always jaded by their experiences. They have to be influenced because they have seen other people go through similar things. They have heard other people's stories. They have their own experiences. But the knowing inside of you, that's the answer that you seek. That's the part that we truly want to embrace. And we really want to hold on to how Spirit lets you know you're okay. Every time you pose a question to the universe, you should always drop down into your heart and just remind yourself that you're one with the universe. So let's say you have a question about your work and you want to ask, should I leave my job? And you tell Spirit, the universe, God, I'm not really happy. I'm not liking this. This is uncomfortable. I don't really know what I need to do next, but I know I need to make a change because I'm just uncomfortable. Then you breathe and you just sit in the stillness and listen to your heartbeat, because that's what connects you to the whole entire universe, your heartbeat. And feel that pulsating energy inside, the oneness. God gave you the breath of life. God chooses when your heart begins to beat and when your heart chooses to stop. God does that. That's written in your divine plan. So when you are in that energy and you still yourself, then a certain peace comes over you. And when you have that peace come over you, then suddenly everything begins to look better for you. Everything feels clearer. And then you have a better understanding as to what your answer may or may not be or could be for you. It's so important that you open up and trust that the universe has your back. It's so important that you really love yourself and understand that nothing can get in the way of what you want. We're going to answer your questions here tonight at 866-972-7247 all across the nation. And we're going to go to Facebook and to YouTube. We're going to answer those questions. So I'd love if you put those questions in the feed and you share with us your thoughts and your feelings and what some of your obstacles may be. Because we are prepared tonight to answer your questions. This show is always and always shall be all about you and your questions and what has you feeling the way you feel. And how you can improve your connection with the divine. We're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors. And then when we come back, we're going to go to our phone lines and I'm going to share with you a few stories of some of the conversations that I've had with other people and how they've had to kind of check themselves and really ask the question, is it me? Am I crazy? Or are people just not relating to me? Or do I need Spirit to give me some guidance? You're not crazy, I promise you. We're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
The world is changing now, and we don't know where to go. The world is different now, and people have lost their way. It's just not easy to be who we want to be, 'cause the world is changing now. We can't walk the way we did. We don't know the path. We have to listen to our heart. The ways that worked before, they don't work anymore. We have lost our love for everyone. We have hurt each other. The world is changing now. It's asking us to move along, to open up a different way of loving one another. We can't stay the same. We've lost the game of life. We can't run away anymore.
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 866-9-SARAHS. That's 866-972-7247.
Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit SarahSpiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up.
Hi, I'm Sarah Spiritual, the founder of the Expedito Enlightenment Center. I would love for you to visit me at my spiritual oasis located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard in the Tree of Life Plaza in West Palm Beach. Come, feel the energy, sample my spiritual sprays and oils, participate in one of my spiritual development classes, and have a personal reading with me, Sarah Spiritual. Let's see what Spirit has to say. You can call the Expedito Enlightenment Center at 561-682-0955. Not local? Visit me, Sarah Spiritual, at SarahSpiritual.com for products, classes, and to book your personal session.
You are listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah Spiritual and be in the energy of light. Call right now, Sarah Spiritual, at 866-9-SARAHS. That's toll free, 866-972-7247. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube.
And we are back here live on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah all across the nation on the Oldies station and on WSFS on Miami. And we're answering your questions at 866-972-7247. And we've got quite a bit to share with you tonight, and we, of course, want to answer questions. So if you haven't picked up the phone and joined us, and if you're not in the queue, you got to be in it so we can get those answers from Spirit. Today I was talking with someone, and she was feeling a bit out of sorts. And the reason why she was feeling out of sorts is she was feeling that people were taking offense by things she was saying and not really understanding her, even though she goes out of her way to be very, very nice and very considerate. And she's noticing a pattern of people who don't let her speak and don't let her be her true, wonderful self. And she was feeling very, very frustrated. And she was asking me, is it me? Is it them? And I said, well, it's not necessarily you, and it's not them per se. It's the scenario. You are attracting people who are here to challenge you so you can find your voice, so that you can find who you are, and that you can stay rooted in yourself. And if they don't like it, it doesn't define you, and you're to stand in your power and to truly just learn to love yourself in spite of the fact that you're getting resistance. And these are people that she knows, she's acquainted with, she's friendly with. These are people in her inner circle of her family. And so she runs into these problems. And I know many of you have similar happenings where you are attracting people who are more of a pattern than anything. And you say to yourself, well, is it me? Well, you are a common denominator. You are the person attracting that experience. But what is there for you to learn? And when you're getting back negativity and you're just trying to be nice, then you need to consume that energy with grace. You need to consume that energy with light. You need to summon in your mind that there's a force of light that stands between you and any angst or anxiety or difficulty or challenge that you may have around you. It's really important that we remember that we're powerful beings. We are so trained, as I was saying earlier, to think that we have to count on other people. And it's good to have people to depend on and to share and help each other. But you're wired to have everything you need right inside. All the answers are there. My job here on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah every Wednesday night is to help you find those answers. Help you learn to listen to what Spirit is trying to tell you. To feel that sense of calm, that sense of peace, that understanding that you are one with something greater and grander than you ever imagined. I had the pleasure of sitting across from someone not too long ago, a few days ago, and they were kind of on the fence as to what's really out there. I'm like, well, you're not alone. And they were interested in learning more about how they could find that evidence that there is a God, that there is a power, that there is a source, and that their gut feeling is connected to something, right? There's a GPS that's inside of you that knows exactly the right thing to do at the right time, and it is being guided. We think a lot of times we're doing it all by ourselves. Lucky us, we're so independent, but there's a force that guides you, that helps you, that allows you to open up and receive blessings and information. There's so much that you can do. It's a beautiful time for all of us to remember who we are and remember that we can accomplish anything. We're going to welcome your questions on Facebook and your comments. We definitely want to speak with everyone on Facebook and YouTube. We want to talk to our friends in all across the country. We've got calls from Atlanta and Seattle and Connecticut and looks like California and New York. I mean, we've got people all across the country. And we all have similar questions. What do I do? How do I handle it? What's next for me? How do I stay connected? How do I not feel alone? We all have questions. How do I learn? So whatever your question is, Spirit has an answer. Whatever the question you ask, you're going to feel the answer. Because when you feel inside of you that there's a force that can help you, then you know you're not alone, no matter what the situation may appear to be. 866-972-7247. If you get a busy signal, please don't give up. Save me on speed dial. We will definitely get to as many questions as possible tonight. I really want to talk to everyone. So we've settled some of the things here in the studio. Things are in flow. I'm going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors, and then we're coming back to answer your questions. Thank you for listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. I'm Sarah Spiritual. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
I've been standing in the room before I walk through the door. Do you know me? Have you heard me? Have you seen me? Do you know my voice? Did you call me with your song?
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 866-9-SARAHS. That's 866-972-7247.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
WSFS 104.3 HD3 Miramar, WIRK 103.1 HD3 Indiantown, and heard in Broward on 96.9 FM, Boca Raton on 95.3 FM, West Palm Beach on 95.9 FM, and in Martin County on 106.9 FM. Programming paid for by Vic Canales Media Group. We are South Florida's home for the True Oldies Channel.
SarahSpiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit SarahSpiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up.
Hi, I'm Sarah Spiritual, the founder of the Expedito Enlightenment Center. I would love for you to visit me at my spiritual oasis located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard in the Tree of Life Plaza in West Palm Beach. Come, feel the energy, sample my spiritual sprays and oils, participate in one of my spiritual development classes, and have a personal reading with me, Sarah Spiritual. Let's see what Spirit has to say. You can call the Expedito Enlightenment Center at 561-682-0955. Not local? Visit me, Sarah Spiritual, at SarahSpiritual.com for products, classes, and to book your personal session.
This show is furnished by Sarah Spiritual.
The content, information, and opinions expressed during the related show are those of the show personalities and guest alone, and not those of Vic Canellis Media Group, its parent, affiliates, or stations. VCMG Live is not responsible for any content, information, or opinions expressed. User bears full responsibility for their reliance on such content, information, or opinions.
Welcome back to the next 2 hours of Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, as we continue our uplifting and empowering spiritual discussions to transform your life. A gifted spiritual advisor, coach, and medium, Sarah Spiritual will assist you to connect to the light within and transcend beyond the limits of all experience and knowledge. We have another 2 hours to listen and call in 866-9-SARAHs. That's 866-972-7247. And watch Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube, and you can share the love and light.
It's just not easy to be who we want to be, 'cause the world is changing now. We can't walk the way we did. We don't know the path. We have to listen to our heart.
Yes, indeed. We have to listen to our heart right here on the Oldie Station, and you're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah all across the nation at 866-972-7247. We're so glad to be connecting with all of you. And can you believe we are in the middle of October? Time is flying. And a quick shout out to everyone who has braved our hurricanes that have come through here. And of course, our hearts and prayers are with everyone affected here in South Florida, in the Panhandle, the west coast of Florida, even some of us here who had tornadoes on the east side of Florida, and then of course all the way into Georgia and the Carolinas, Tennessee, everyone who was affected by our last hurricane and this current one. Our prayers, our thoughts, our energy is with you, and we do know that things will get better. We know that it's not an easy time, and we most certainly know that Mother Nature can pack a punch. That's why we want to live every day to the fullest, and we want to be in gratitude, and we always want to be mindful of our intuition. Your intuition, your gut feeling, will always keep you in the right place at the right time, according to the divine destiny that is meant to be yours. And we want you to all follow your intuition, especially when there's a lot going on. You need to know what the right choice is for you. And you need to heed some of the information that's given us when we know we need to take cover. You know, a lot of people found themselves in their closet when the tornadoes were coming through last week. And it was, you know, definitely a scary thing for people. But it was a necessary thing, right? And then we hear so many stories of how someone was in their safe spot and the whole house is down and ruined around them, but they're fine. Their dog is fine. Their wife is fine. Their child is fine. And so these are the things we want to know, that our God's hand is upon you. It's not just that closet that's keeping you safe. It's the hand of God. And we want to trust that God always is going to take care of us. We've got some exciting things coming up at the center. Tomorrow night, Thursday night, we got a full moon ceremony. We are releasing we got to let it go, right? So if there's something you want to let go, emotions, things that are blocked inside of you, things you need to create to free you from the energy of things that make you feel down and depressed, things that are built up inside of you, emotions, resentment, hurt, pain, malaise, disease. We are going to heal it all, send it into the Mother Earth, and we're going to do a full moon releasing ceremony tomorrow night at the Expedito Enlightenment Center in person there, as well as, if you're not local, live online. So you can go to SarahSpiritual.com, and there you learn more about that class. And we have another class coming up as well. We've got our How to Be a Magical Manifester. Do you want to know how to create with the divine? Do you want to know how to bring in the energy and charge the energy of everything that you'd like to create? We've got our Master Manifestation class. We're going to give you all the tricks, all the tips as to how to bring abundance and bring things to you. This is a powerful time for you to open up to the law of attraction and learn how to be that magnet, pulling forth everything that is good. That class is only $15, and it is at the Expedito Enlightenment Center live as well as online. And that date is going to be, we'll put the thing back up for me there. Thank you so much. Tuesday, October 29th. 7:30 p.m. So go to SarahSpiritual.com, learn more about it. We'd love to have you take our classes and grow with us. Our friends on Facebook, our friends on YouTube, put your questions and your comments in the feed. Keep the questions short and sweet. Give us the information that we need to be able to answer the question. Follow the prompts in the feed, and we will be getting to you shortly. So let's go to our phone lines, and I've got to go to Pamela. Pamela is in Atlanta. Pamela, how are you tonight?
Hi, Sarah. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you. What is your question
Fantastic.
for us? Yeah.
Okay. My question, we've covered this before. I'm echoing back to myself. I don't know why. All right, it's gone. We've discussed this before, and first of all, thank you. I want to express my gratitude because a couple months ago, we talked about this, and you told me there would be starts and stops. And the starts and stops were in the form of someone's vacation from work, and then someone getting sick, and then, like you mentioned, the hurricane. There were delays, and there were other emergencies. So I kept it together throughout about 4 to 6 weeks of delay. So thank you for your encouragement from the last time we talked about this. We are back to discussing my leaking water pipe under the driveway. And today was the culmination in those delays, and they came out to look at this. And to your point, I walked outside in the grass barefoot to ground myself, because I do try to always go in and trust myself. Yeah, and they were fantastic. I mean, I have great gratitude for them too. And we were talking about different options. Where I'm looking for some clarity, because I'm just stuck, I guess. We've had all the utilities marked. We've called out to have the utilities marked so they can see where they can dig and where they can't dig.
Right.
Now, they did it after they left, so the plumber's not aware of this yet. So I'm trying to get some clarity from you, so when I have to have my next discussion, this could be forward motion. One of the options, because we still can't get an exact location on this, and the whole big boo-ha-ha is if it's under the driveway, it belongs to the homeowners association.
I remember.
If it's not, it's a me situation. So they are talking about cutting a perfectly good pipe inside the house to add a spigot to have a leak detection company come out. My gut says, why do we cut a perfectly good pipe and spend additional dollars that aren't even leading us towards repair? Is there any other way to prove this leak's location? And then someone else suggested, not the plumber that was here, but someone else just said, why don't you just drill holes in the concrete and see if it spouts out like a fountain? And then you'd know it's either before those holes or after those holes, which I don't even know if that's a possibility. And then this is the craziest
take a
thing.
Breath.
I have tried the builder.
Take a breath.
I have tried the county.
Pamela, Pamela, take a breath.
And no one can. Yes.
Pamela, you need to take a breath.
Okay.
I can't answer one question if you build 6 questions on top of it. So we're going to go back.
Okay.
I want you to just say the one sentence very clearly. They want you to cut a pipe. Just give me the one sentence, not the whole story. They want to accomplish what with the pipe? They're going to put a spigot. Just say that one sentence. And because I have an answer from Spirit, I want to make sure that I'm hearing you in Spirit correctly. So go ahead.
Okay. Inside the closet where the hot water heater is, they want to cut into that pipe that connects to hot water heater and install a spigot, an extra faucet, I guess you would say, on that pipe. That's not a part of anything that's broken.
No, that's not to be done. I'm not a plumber. I can't tell you what to do. But Spirit's like, no. They need to explore outside. Everybody's trying to take the easy way out. Now, let me address this. As you were saying, why don't we drill holes in the concrete and then we see where the water comes up? Well, that depends if the water is flowing with enough strength to be a gusher. You don't know how much flow there is, how much force there is to that water. So that doesn't sound like it's going to work either, right? Sounds like we'll have a whole bunch of holes. So they're not really... The bottom line is a good chunk of this area has to be taken up so that we can see with our own eyes where the water is, where the water's coming, where is it pooling, what pipe is connected to what pipe. And it sounds like everybody's trying to dance around doing what is going to be a lot of work, but necessary.
Okay. So that leads me to one of my barrage of questions to you.
Yes.
There has to be some plan somewhere. And there's such a thing that the plumber mentioned called as built. I've already contacted the county weeks ago, contacted the builder weeks ago, contacted the subcontractor of the
I get it.
builder weeks ago, and everyone's forgotten. Like, they have nothing. So is there something that I can find where it will tell us where these water pipes are laid under this driveway? A schematic, a site plan, or an as-built plan?
There has to be. There has to be some pattern. There has to be, just like they know where the electricity is, our cable wires, right? It's amazing. They were doing something behind my house, and next thing I know, they're in my yard, but they're not doing it on my yard, but they're sitting there marking, they have a yellow flag, a blue flag, a purple flag. They've got all this stuff. This is water. This is cable. So they have to have some idea what's underneath there. Because all the houses are the same in the community. They're built together, right? They laid all the pipes together. It's not like we just threw a random house in a speck of the woods and, we don't know where the pipes are because there's nothing there. So we need to know clearly what's under there. I don't feel, and I know you want answers and I know you want this done, but I don't feel that they quite have the best solution to get to the problem. You and I both know that it's a homeowners association problem. We know that. We just need somebody who's going to go, oh, look, here it is. It's under the driveway. It's a homeowners association issue. Right? And they're not making it easy for you to get to that answer. So before you spend all this money trying to seek an answer to prove that they are responsible, and then I guess they'd have to reimburse you for all the work you did to prove they're responsible, we're trying to minimize that cost as much as possible. But I do feel confident that as we close out the year, we're going to be that much closer, if not resolved. So just keep exploring and see where you can find a map of where everything is, all right? Thank you so much,
So
Pamela.
the answer from Spirit is really do not cut any good pipes inside the house.
No, why are we going to cut pipes in the house when we're leaking outside?
That's my logic, but they were pushing for that today, and I held my ground because I just felt it was wrong, and I didn't know if I pushed the button with them.
Well, we're not here for a popularity contest. We're here to get something accomplished.
And I need you to remind me. Thank you.
Yes. I mean, we get more flies with honey, so of course be sweet and nice, but be direct. You know, I need to know what's going on outside my house, under my driveway, leading in my driveway somewhere, and putting a spigot here to leak out water or to, what is that going to do? And then it's my hot water.
They want to blow. They want to blow air in the system is what they're wanting to do. They're wanting to break into the in-house lines to blow air to the outside lines.
But if it's covered up with cement, how are we going to see where the hole is? That makes no sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Sounds like you got to talk to a plumber.
Do we have to break up the driveway? Like, am I going to have to bust up a concrete driveway?
It's looking that way.
Oh,
looking
God.
that way. That's what we see them do in New York City streets. That's what they do in New York City streets when there's a leak and they don't know what's going on. They don't sit there and go into the apartment buildings and say, we're going to blow your pipes. I mean, really. All right, Pamela, it's a little too technical, out of my realm right now, so I'm going to conclude the conversation for tonight. Follow your gut, follow your intuition. You're correct in your reaction. Now proceed and continue to push. I'm not an expert in this matter, so Spirit can only guide you to follow your intuition. Spirit is not versed in plumbing or schematics or pipes, and we don't know that stuff, all right? Thank you so much.
So keep looking for plans. Thank you.
We need another plan. You got it. Thank you so much. Bye for now. Bye. 866-972-7247. But you see the things that we have to deal with in life, everyone, and people maybe are telling us we don't know what we're talking about or making us feel like we have to listen to them because they're the expert, but you yourself feel in your heart that something isn't right. We have to learn to honor those feelings. That's exactly the type of conversation I had with my client today. She felt like everyone was trying to tell her why she was wrong to do it this way and be this way, and like she wasn't a nice person. And she's like, no, this is who I am and this is what I want. So we have to stand up for who we are and what we believe in. We're going to go back to our phone lines at 866-972-7247. We are welcoming your phone calls, and we are going to go to Seattle. I think we have Jerry. Who do we have here in Seattle, please? Is anyone there in Seattle?
Hello?
Hello. Who am I speaking to?
Jarrell.
Jarrell. All right, Jarrell. Good to connect with you. How did you hear about the show?
My girlfriend. I think she's called you a couple of times.
Well, that's great. Well, you thank your girlfriends. And Jarrell, the way I work is I listen to Spirit. Spirit's going to guide me, show me what's going on around you. And of course, as you can hear, we answer questions. Hopefully you don't have a plumbing question for me, because that's definitely not up my wheelhouse. Spirit deals with a little bit more personal things at times. So Jarrell, when I look at the energy around you, this year is a year to kind of find your power, find your path. You're feeling like you need to kind of hone in on what's best for you next and how to stand tall in your ground and create something for yourself and success. Is that where you're pushing yourself?
Yes, ma'am.
And I also see it's a year of matters of the heart. So have you and your girlfriend been working on your relationship recently?
Yes.
And that's important for you. So what is your burning question for me?
Honestly, I have a lot going on in my life right now, and I just want to hear what Spirit had to say to me.
Well, when someone has a lot going on, we want you to step in your power. We want you to understand your purpose. We want you to feel connected to the divine. But when you have a lot going on, Jarrell, it's really important for you to ask a question so that we can serve you in the best amount of time we have, because each call only has a certain amount of time that I can spend with it. So what is your question for me?
What is next for me?
And what area of life are you asking?
My relationship.
Okay. So I want to go back with you, Jarrell, and I need to go back to 2022. Was this a little difficult time for you? Were you going through a lot of twists and turns? Is this true?
Yes.
And right now, when I look at your relationship, what is your girlfriend's birthday, please?
8379.
And right now, the two of you are not seeing eye to eye. We are not on the same page. Is that also correct?
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
Okay. It's a communication thing, you know. It's a respect thing. You know, you're very intuitive yourself. And sometimes you can be a little, would you say you can be a little intense at times? Yes?
Yes.
This year is the year, and what do I mean by this year? This birthday year for you, your birthday's coming up. In the case of your girlfriend, from her birthday on, so you guys are pretty much tracking together. This is the year that you both decide what love means to you, and it is the relationship year. It is a defining moment where the both of you step into your own individual power and decide together if we're in or out. That is a free will choice. Do I see love here? Yes, I do. Does Spirit show me that the two of you can be compatible? Yes, they do. Do they show me that the two of you are lacking in communication and we are getting our wires crossed, thus making each other feel upset or not seen, not heard, triggered, to use a very overused word, right? So there's a lot of that going on. But I will tell you that regardless of where you are now, coming into the month of January towards February, so that takes us mid-January, that's how my spirit kind of flips the channel, I look and I see that at that moment in time, you guys will have made your decision what you want to do. Is there a thought and an idea that we have to move or we want to move, please?
Yes, it is on the table.
It's on the table because I couldn't quite hear you, yes?
Yes.
Okay. Because I see the potential for a move. And I feel like there's a lot of pressure around you both where you are now. Is that also true?
Yes.
So we need to look at what can we do to relieve as much pressure as possible so that we don't have to be at each other's throats. Does that make sense to you, Jarrell?
Yes, it does.
Okay. So some things are out of our control, right? If we can't move because we don't have another place to go to, we get it. But what can we do to make this easier? What can you do to make your girlfriend feel more validated? What do you need from her back so that you feel seen and heard and you're not feeling as frustrated as your energy reads like you are, right? So these are the things we need to talk out. Now, when we talk it out, and I was just having this conversation with someone earlier today, we need to hear them. We can't, the minute they say two words, just start jumping down their throat or saying what they're doing wrong. You have to let them talk. You have to hear them. No matter how much you agree or disagree, you got to let them get it out. Because you're both shutting each other down right now. Because I feel like you're both hurt. And is there an issue of trust, please? My guides are talking to me about trust. Are we not trusting each other, or she's not trusting you?
Yes.
Okay. Well, then we need to be accountable to each other and show each other that we are on the same page. You know, I had a lovely couple in the other day. Really lovely. And, you know, one of them made an error in judgment in their relationship. It's a hard thing to get over. And the other person is like, they haven't broken up with them, but they're really struggling with what happened. Really struggling. And here I am, I have such two lovely people, lovely little couple, and they're both crying because they're both hurt. And when we have people who are hurt, it's hard for them to think clearly. So we need to be seen, we need to be heard, And you need to show up. My guides are telling me in some way she's asking you to show up for her. And you need to ask yourself if you can, if you're willing, and if you are, then do it. See, the minute we lighten the load and lighten the tension, other opportunities will come, because this is really meant to be a great career year for you, a great financial year for you. It's meant to bring about change for you, and these changes will be like an upliftment to you, and you'll feel better, and things have a better flow. Not that circumstances are a reason for bad behavior or difficulties in a relationship, but we know they add to it. We all know, because we're human. We've all been there. So finding a way to make things easier for yourselves will be better. Remembering to tell each other how much you care about each other and you value each other is important. And honoring that. I hope that I've been of some service to you today. We could go on for quite a while, but I just wanted to give you a snippet of what Spirit was saying. And it may behoove both of you to book an appointment with me, and you book an appointment and we do the appointment together, and I help you navigate the communication so we can get to the crux of the matter together with you both with me, like I did with my other lovely couple, because we definitely had them laughing and not crying by the time they left. So didn't fix the problem, but we have an approach now as to how we can solve what is the problem in the relationship. I can do that with you. I hope you're glad you called and I've been of some service to you, Jarrell, and I look forward to hearing from you and or your girlfriend again.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye for now. 866-972-7247. We're going to jump on to a commercial, and then when we come back, we've got to go to, well, we got a lot of places to go. We've got to go to Connecticut. We've got to go to New York. We've got to go to California. We've got to go to Miami. We got to get moving here. So stay with us, everyone, and our friends on Facebook and YouTube. Don't go away, because when we come back, we're talking to you as well. Stay with us. You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah all across the nation on the Oldie Station. We'll be right back.
In the room before I walk through the door. Do you know me? Have you heard me? Have you seen me?
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 866-9-SARAHS. That's 866-972-7247.
SarahSpiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit SarahSpiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up.
Come visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center for an extensive array of spiritual products, crystals, books, classes, readings, and healing services in a beautiful spiritual oasis. You must visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Come feel the energy and explore our unique products. Arrange for your own personal spiritual reading with Sarah Spiritual for spiritual insight. The Expedito Enlightenment Center is located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard, Suite 129 in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955. Visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. That's EXPEDITOenlightenmentcenter.com. EDITO enlightenmentcenter.com for yourself. Or for a thoughtful gift, there's no better place to visit than the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955 or visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com.
You are listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah Spiritual and be in the energy of light. Call right now, Sarah Spiritual, at 866-9-SARAHS. That's toll free, 866-972-7247. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube.
Do you know me? Do I know you? Have we met before? I've been standing in the room before I walk through the door. Do you know me? Have you heard me? Have you seen me? Do you know my voice?
Have you heard me? Do you know me? I am Sarah Spiritual, and you're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah all across the nation at 866-972-7247. And we're welcoming our friends on Facebook and on YouTube. If you're on Facebook, share the page, share the light, and share the love. It's really important that you share our show so that everyone knows that we are here to assist people. We've been on national radio for over 15 years talking to all of you. My goodness. So we are going to go to our phone lines at 866-972-7247. And I've got to go to Gwen. Gwen is in Connecticut. Gwen, how are you tonight?
I'm well.
Good. And Gwen, what is your question for me?
I am questioning about my divorce.
Okay. And what is the question about the divorce?
I lived in Maine.
Yeah, go ahead. What did you say?
I spoke to you when I lived in Maine, and I moved to Connecticut. And now I'm in Connecticut. And I'm just wondering how it's going to go now that I'm down here.
Well, when I look at where you are in this journey, this year is a year to kind of let go of things, if I were to say. And we were talking about the divorce and some of the complications. Is that true?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And I think here that when I look at what we've got going on, the way they show it to me is that I don't feel like everything's been as cooperative as we'd like it to be. Is that also true?
That is true.
And I'm also seeing, did we go in and out a bit in the back and forth in the courts with the, and did we not get through with the mediation? Is that true? Yes?
That's true. We have another mediation on Monday.
Yeah. Because my guides are showing me that we went there and it didn't go the way it was should have or could have, and it's just been complicated, correct?
Correct.
And so when I look at this mediation, for some reason, I don't feel like he wants to budge. He doesn't really want to budge.
No.
So I feel like the judge is going to have to kind of sum it up for you. In the end, I feel like the judge has to help you decide. So I'm going to give you some guidance from Spirit. And I know it's not a fair situation that you're in right now, but let's say that he wants 3 things and 2 small things. And you're entitled to 2 of the larger things and 1 of the small things. But you really don't care about the small thing. You really care about the larger things. But he's throwing a temper tantrum because he needs that small thing, that little aspect. If it's not a real deal breaker for you to make him think he won something, okay, great, I'll give you the pen. You can have the pen. Give him the pen.
Okay.
Give him the small thing. I know there's a law, right? And whatever the law says, in every state it's a little different, but whatever the law says, you're entitled to. And people, even though you're entitled to things, they want to feel like, no, it's mine. I made it. I created it. I don't want to give it to you. I don't want to share it. And they get into their me, me, me. And when they get into the me, 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 things get complicated. But they, even if it's the law, they want to feel like, I beat her. I got what I wanted. Okay, let him think he got what he wanted. Because that may just be the thing that helps your mediation, so we don't have to go to the judge and we don't have to spend more money and we don't have to perpetuate this. But when it comes to the basics, the necessities, that which is necessary for you to be okay, for your family structure to be okay, then we have to stand tall and stand up for what is ours. All right? It's going to be an interesting Monday. I know it's going to be complicated, but just remember that, because sometimes lawyers, and I love lawyers and they know their job, and I'm not a lawyer, but sometimes they're like, well, but you're supposed to get those two small things, and you're like, but let him have one of the small things. I don't really care. Let's just get this done.
Right. But
am
I going to be fine?
Well, he doesn't want you to be fine.
Of course not.
Okay. Well, a loving, kind person would want you to be fine, even though we have irreconcilable differences. They'd want to be like, okay, here, take this. This is what you need to get your life started again. And you go your way, I go my way. Right? But you will be fine.
Right.
But he doesn't want you to be fine. So we have to, it's the law, honey. Whatever the law is, he can't throw a temper tantrum and just automatically win. The judges have to stay by, they have to follow the law. And it's up to your lawyer to prove why you need to have the things that you need, how it needs to be, to remind the judge of what the law is. It's your lawyer's job.
Right. Because he's asking for something now that he should not ask for.
Well, if it's something that you need that is not something that is supposed to go that way, then you have to stand your ground. And that's why I said to you, I don't know that we're going to get through the mediation with an answer. I think we're going to the judge.
Okay.
But Spirit had a little clue of like, if you could make him think he won by giving him a sliver of something that he feels like, oh, I got to have a piece of her piece of cake. She didn't get the whole cake.
Okay.
Then let him think he had the whole cake.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. So if I give him something else, thinking that he got something else.
Correct. That doesn't matter to you or isn't going to make or break, so that you can be okay. You want to be okay and you want to be able to start your life over again.
Right.
What is his birthday? Let me just take a look at something with him, please.
His birthday is 12/23. Oh, gosh.
Okay. I got enough here. It's okay. Hold on.
Oh, 61.
Yeah, but he's all about his accomplishments and what has been important to him in his life. It's perception to him, what other people think, too. This is very, he doesn't like to lose this one here. Okay?
No.
But we also have to stay in the letter of the law. And he's very adamant, very strong-willed and very direct, very adamant. And he thinks he's right.
Yeah.
He always thinks he's right, but in this particular case, he thinks he's right and justified.
And he's not, because what he's sitting on in Maine is 100% mine.
Okay.
Because my grandmother gave it to me.
Okay. And was this before
And I
the
left.
marriage or after?
Before. I got it when my grandmother passed when I was 3 years old.
Okay. Then it's really not marital property. But I'm not a
Nope.
lawyer. What do I know? So this is why you need your
None
lawyer
of it's
to be
marital.
Yeah, you need your lawyer to know the letter of the law, and you need to follow that.
Yep.
That's why I think he's not going to want to let it go. You know, he can have the tree in the backyard from your grandmother's property if he wants. Go ahead, dig it up. What does he want? So think of something. See if we can send him on his way on Monday. If not, we're going to trial.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Well, thank you so much.
All right.
I appreciate you. And
thank you.
If you'd like to talk about this a little bit more in detail, which may be advantageous, it's a little difficult to talk about on radio. Spirit gives me words that are the best words to use on radio. Go to SarahSpiritual, book a personal session, and then we'll give you all the ins and outs of the strategies. Might not prep you for Monday, but we'll definitely get you ready for what's to come.
Okay,
right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye for now.
Bye. Okay, bye-bye.
866-972-7247. Let's pull our friends on Facebook. Let's go to YouTube. Let's see who's sharing the page and what's going on here. Let's take a look and see who's got a question for us here on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. I love answering questions. Okay, Sarah, a message from Spirit about my health and my physically, emotionally. Thank you. So Carolina Garcia. You know, Carolina, I feel like your birthday's coming up, and this is an important time for you to really kind of step into what feels good for you, what aligns with your soul. I feel like your body has failed you, like all of a sudden you're feeling almost achy and almost decrepit, and you're not, but it's just the feeling you have, and you're feeling your body's failed you. I feel like we need to have some kind of inflammation reduced in the body. I almost feel like we have some kind of, I want to call it inflammation or an autoimmune, something along those lines. We need to work on that. I know it's affecting you physically and emotionally, your health, but I do feel that we are going to turn the corner. I do feel that you have been exploring other ways to heal yourself, and those ways of healing yourself are going to prove to be advantageous. So continue to go down the path that may not be the path most choose, but I feel like you'll find just the right solution to help you on this journey. I do feel that when we take you into 2025, we feel renewed, we feel strong, and everything will begin to line up in a better way for you. Thank you, Carolina, for your question on YouTube. Let's take another question from Facebook and YouTube. Let's see who we have here. Another question, we have Mary Katie. She's like, I would like to know if I'm living what my soul came to do. Great question, Mary Katie. So are you who you were born to be? So I actually feel that this year for you opens up some more creativity for you. I know that you're being the good soul person you've come to be. I know you've been a good soldier in tough times, but my guides tell me that there's a little bit more for you to open up and learn and grow to be of service to others, and that this year can be a great awakening for you. So I want you to look to 2024 into 2025 for new inspired ideas, and then when we get closer to your next birthday, you may be adding a new aspect of your spiritual journey that will really help you feel more soulfully on purpose. I see you doing something that helps people in a different way. So explore that, Mary Katie. You are showing up and being a magnificent soul, but there's a little more purpose coming for you. So you're on track for living your purpose. We're just not there yet. Thanks so much for your question. We're going to go back to our phone lines, and we'll be back at Facebook and YouTube in just a few minutes. But for this minute, I do need to go back to my phone lines at 866-972-7247. And I've got Amy. And Amy, looks like Amy's in Cali. She's in California. Yay. Amy, how are you?
Doing well, and you?
I'm doing well, Amy. Good to make this connection for you. And what is your question for us?
This past year, I've really taken some time to self-reflect. Had a session with you to bring back some of my orphan younger stages together, and just wanted to know if Spirit feels I'm on the right path.
So let's take a look here. So you are on the path of growth, expansion of your consciousness. You're feeling more and more connected to Spirit. Is that true?
That is true.
Feeling more aware of other people and their mode of means of who they are, how they're behaving. I just feel like you're a better sense of who's got the right intentions and who maybe their intentions are kind of governed by their own personal agendas. So you've been learning to discern who's in your circle. My guides tell me, too, that you're feeling a prompting, a push to make a change. Seems like a bigger change. We're looking to make a change in work career in the next 2 years, something we're kind of thinking we want to make a shift, and we're trying to work our way towards that. Is that true?
That is true, yes.
Yes. So when I take you moving forward, I feel like the next 12 months are still kind of more eye-opening experiences. You are on the right track to answer your question. I feel like we become more whole, more complete over this next year, and then about a year from now, then you're ready to make some of the bigger changes that you want to make, and you'll be making them for the right reasons. We'll be making them on a solid ground, so you won't feel that feeling of the rug is getting pulled out from under me. So yes, you are on track.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for holding. We greatly appreciate you, and thank you for following up. I look forward to speaking with you again. Bye for now. 866-972-7247. And we've got to go back to our phone lines, and I've got to go to Miami. I've got Marie on the line. Marie, how are you?
Hello?
Yes, Marie, how are you tonight?
I'm good. How are you, Sarah?
I'm doing well. Good to reconnect with you.
Yes.
You're having a big growth spurt yourself, right? You're working on growing and expanding yourself financially. Is that true?
Correct.
Yes. What is your question for us tonight?
My question is, things have been rocky between my husband and I. We're separated and trying to find out what's going to happen. Well, what do you see happening between us? Mm-hmm. And I also feel like hiding something from me, and I don't know what it is. And he's like cutting corners and not really, telling me what's wrong with him.
What is his birthday?
12/13/83.
And is he looking for new work? Because I feel like this is a really good year for work and growth for him for work. Is he trying to improve his work?
Yes, he's not working right now, and yes, he's stressing about work.
Yeah.
But I feel like more to that. There's more to it. But yes, he is stressing about work.
Yeah.
And
well, hold on. Let me continue. Let me continue. I know, you see, I love when people ask a question of Spirit. You ask a question of me, but then you keep replaying what you've been telling yourself in your head, right? Let that go.
Okay.
We got to neutralize that. We got to step into what we've got going on with Spirit, because Spirit's like, listen, he has had trouble being in alignment with work for quite a while. Is that true? Yes, it is. Is it any surprise that he's stressing over work? No, it's not. Does he seem to have trouble playing well with others in the playground? This is true. Does he have difficulty with wanting to do work that he feels is beneath him? Yes, he does. Does he really know what he wants to do for work? Has he really defined his true career, purpose, passion, and calling? No, he has not. So he's kind of all over the place. Has his family enabled him? Yes, they have. Does he need to find time to really understand who he is so he can show up and be a better partner and understand what he wants to do with his life? I feel like he never really stopped to think who he was and how he had to show up in the world. I think he just was throwing spaghetti everywhere, going, okay, I'm a master of spaghetti throwing. Right. So now he can't be so scattered anymore. He's got to show up. And he's realizing that he doesn't know how to show up for himself. How you expect him to show up for you? And you and I have been talking about this relationship now for quite a while. And there were a lot of stressors. You heard me talking to the young man who called before, right? And, you know, he is feeling out of whack with his relationship as well. And that young man, I was sharing with him that, you know, it's a communication thing. And it's a trust thing. Right. And you don't trust your husband right now. And you feel like he's doing shady stuff, right? So how are we going to have a relationship if we're not feeling someone's being authentic, transparent, and true? We cannot. Only they know their truth. And my job is not to spy on anybody, so I'm not going to be telling anybody's secrets. But what I will tell you is this. If he cannot show up the way you need him to show up, and you've been asking him to show up for how many years now? 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. It's been a while. Then we need to take a step back and we need to say, Marie, what do you want? What would make you happy? I know you love the man, but you may love the man who is not able to be the man that you think he is. So what are you going to do with that? Okay. You've got to let him sit where he is and figure it out. But life is not meant to be waited anymore because you have been waiting. And this is not a statement of break up with him, run in the other direction, get a divorce. I'm just saying you need to pull back and you need to do Marie. And he's either going to come to you and show up for you and say, babe, I'm sorry. I was caught up in this, this, and this, and I made this mistake and that mistake, but I get it now, and, you know, I hope you can, you know, work with me and we can find our way back to each other. Because you've been chasing after him, saying, let's find our way back to each other. And he was going the other direction. Because he doesn't know the way back. Okay. This is true, correct?
Yeah, this is true.
Okay, so let him go his way. Don't be worried about what he's up to. Let it be. And you work on your ability to, I know you work and build your abundance, and then you decide what you're going to do for yourself and your family. And then you come together and say, hey, I worked on myself. I've accomplished this. This is where I'm at. From where I sit, I don't believe I see much change here. Is there anything that you have that you've adjusted and changed so that we can come together as a new unit, as a refined, redesigned unit? And if you get the same story, the same song and dance, then guess what? You'll be like, I wish you well on your journey. Okay. You've been asking the same question now for a while, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
But, you know, he tell me one thing and it's another, so, you know.
But I believe that he wants. Yes, but hear me. I feel like he believes he wants it to be the way he says. He's just not making the discipline and making the choices to support what is coming out of his mouth. He's just not.
Okay.
So
all right,
now let him come to you with action. Okay, let him come to you with action. I hear you. Great. Okay. I'm from Missouri. He'll be like, I thought you lived in Miami. No, I'm from Missouri. It is the show me state, honey. We are on the show me level. Show me. Okay. Wrap it up with your question, please. Yes.
Before we leave. I was doing very well with my overtime, but they cut it off.
Yeah.
Do you see the overtime picking back up as far as my finances getting better? Because
I know,
it's been kind of slow lately.
Yeah, and I know you're kind of like the one holding everything up. I kind of feel like once we get into November, I feel like there's a hesitation there. I feel like things got a little wonky behind the scenes for them in that organization. So I feel like coming into the end of November, we're going to see. So you've got a few weeks of, it's going to be a little uncomfortable, but you can make it through.
Okay. All right. Thank
Marie.
you.
Thank you so much. We greatly appreciate you. We're sorry you're feeling like a little puppy chasing your tail, but just trust it. Trust your gut. And, ask him to show you. You appreciate his words and his sentiment, but now you're from the show me state. Show me. Take the action, make the changes. I'm working on me, you work on you. And then when you're done getting yourself together, he hasn't accomplished that, you know what you've got to do.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome, honey. Bye for now. We're welcoming your questions on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah all across the nation at 866-972-7247. I would love to speak with you and see what Spirit has to say. And we want to talk to our friends on Facebook and YouTube, so don't go anywhere. Put your questions in the feed. We will come back from commercial and go to Facebook and YouTube again. I want to make sure they're feeling included. And then we're going to pop back on our phone lines. We still have calls all across the nation. Stay with us, everyone. We will be right back.
The world is changing now, and we don't know where to go. The world is different now, and people have lost their way. It's just not easy to be who we want.
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 866-9-SARAHS. That's 866-972-7247.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
WSFS 104.3 HD3 Miramar, WIRK 103.1 HD3 Indiantown, and heard in Broward on 96.9 FM, Boca Raton on 95.3 FM, West Palm Beach on 95.9 FM, and in Martin County on 106.9 FM. Programming paid for by Vic Canales Media Group. We are South Florida's home for the True Oldies Channel.
Hi, I'm Sarah Spiritual, the founder of the Expedito Enlightenment Center. I would love for you to visit me at my spiritual oasis located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard in the Tree of Life Plaza in West Palm Beach. Come, feel the energy, sample my spiritual sprays and oils, participate in one of my spiritual development classes, and have a personal reading with me, Sarah Spiritual. Let's see what Spirit has to say. You can call the Expedito Enlightenment Center at 561-682-0955. Not local? Visit me, Sarah Spiritual, at sarahspiritual.com for products, classes, and to book your personal session.
Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit SarahSpiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up.
Come visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center for an extensive array of spiritual products, crystals, books, classes, readings, and healing services in a beautiful spiritual oasis. You must visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Come feel the energy and explore our unique products. Arrange for your own personal spiritual reading with Sarah Spiritual for spiritual insight. The Expedito Enlightenment Center is located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard, Suite 129 in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955. Visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. That's EXPEDITO enlightenmentcenter.com for yourself. Or for a thoughtful gift, there's no better place to visit than the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955 or visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com.
This show is furnished by Sarah Spiritual.
The content, information, and opinions expressed during the related show are those of the show personalities and guest alone, and not those of Vic Canellis Media Group, its parent, affiliates, or stations. VCMG Live is not responsible for any content, information, or opinions expressed. User bears full responsibility for their reliance on such content, information, or opinions.
Welcome back to the next hour of Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, as we continue our uplifting and empowering spiritual discussion to transform your life. A gifted spiritual advisor, coach, and medium, Sarah Spiritual will assist you to connect to the light within and transcend beyond the limits of all experience and knowledge. We have another hour to listen and call in 866-9-SARAHs. That's 866-972-7247. And watch Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube, and you can share the love and light.
The world is changing now, and we don't know where to go. The world is different now, and people have lost their way. It's just not easy to be who we want to be, 'cause the world is changing now. We can't walk the way we did. We don't know the path. We have to listen to our heart. The ways that worked before, they don't work anymore. We have lost our love for everyone. We have
Yes, indeed. The world, it's asking you to move along, and it's asking you to look to a different way and find a better way to love one another. And loving another really begins with loving yourself. You've got to understand who you are and believe in yourself. Now, I promised our friends on Facebook and YouTube we were going to get to you, so get your questions ready. I want to be sure that we answer our questions. And we're going to give everyone on Facebook and YouTube a minute to catch up with us and give our producers a chance to get the questions ready. So before we go to Facebook and YouTube, I'm going to go to Fort Lauderdale. I've got Christine on the line. Christine, how are you tonight? How are you, Christine? Are you with us? Well, I don't know. I think we lost Christine in the transactions here, so we'll just pull up our friends on Facebook and YouTube. We'll see what they've got going on, and we welcome phone calls at 866-972-7247. As Christine pops off her line because we lost her somehow, then that opens up a line for you if you want to call at 866-972-7247. But let's pull up our friends on Facebook and YouTube, and let's answer a question. We've got Jaron. And Jaron is, I think we might have answered something similar to this. So let's see here. We've got, hi, Sarah. Is there a message from my spirit guides that they're just not getting through to me? So Jane Bodie is saying, well, I don't know. My spirit guides have a message. Are they not getting through to me? So I guess she's not feeling as connected as she'd like to. And, you know, sometimes when we're absorbed in what we're going through, we have difficulty feeling that connection. And so when I look at where you are and what the spirit guides are with you, offering you at this time, the interesting thing is that this year is about a clean slate, and that you need to be willing to step away from things that are not working for you. We really want to move forward. Your birthday is a celebratory time of new beginnings, fresh starts, not just because it's your birthday and we're starting a new year, but it's because we're starting a whole new cycle of life. And, you know, they are there with you. They're just not connecting with you in a way that you recognize, because you're in what I call spiritually a holding pattern. And this holding pattern means we're waiting and we're getting ready to be ready for what's to come next. And I feel like this 2024 time was kind of difficult for you, and you went through a lot. So now it's a time for us to move forward and get ourselves in better alignment. Fresh start, new beginning, potential to make a move, Jane. So if you're thinking of making a move in 2025, entertain that and make that move, because it'll be beneficial for you. Talk to your spirit guides by asking them to be with you, and eventually you'll start to feel them. Spend a little more time in meditation than you are, and I believe you'll be feeling connected. Thanks so much. We're going to take our next question on Facebook and YouTube before we go back to our phone lines at 866-972-7247. We've got Stephanie Pappas. She says, I'd like to know which steps to take on my journey. There are many possible paths. Any insights? Is anyone from the other side watching or protecting me? Well, Stephanie, you always have people on the other side watching and protecting you. You have your guides, you have your angels. Female energy of a grandmother stands above you. This energy is the female energy of mother's side of the family. So grandma on mom's side is standing there with you. And, you know, the next steps for you are to empower yourself and build a foundation for yourself and trust that God has your back. I know you have a lot on your plate. You feel a little overwhelmed. My guides tell me you're feeling kind of tired. But this is a time for you to remember that everything that happens in your life, even the things that are unexpected, have a purpose and they are a blessing. So even though you feel overwhelmed by your blessings, know that this year kind of takes you into a new direction. It's going to help you build more creative outlets for yourself. Spend more time with your family. Allow your family to enjoy you, your children. And I also see work coming for you. I see a job, an opportunity that's going to be very flexible to help you stand tall with what you need to do for yourself. If you thought about studying something to advance yourself, If you can fit that in, we do encourage that. I know you've got a lot on your plate, Stephanie Pappas, but my spirit guides seem to think that you can handle it. Thanks, Stephanie. Keep us posted. Bye for now. We're going to go back to our phone lines. I've got to go pick up the phone for Cheryl in Deerfield Beach. Cheryl, how are you tonight?
Hi, Sarah. Doing much better. How are you tonight? You look beautiful.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that so much. And so happy New Year to you. So we have New Year, new beginning.
Thank you very much.
Yes, we're feeling that energy.
Very much. Very much. And I'm very excited, enthusiastic. My question for you tonight is, how do you see me in my whole new role and new life coming up very soon?
Kind of saying hashtag told you so.
Yes, you did.
All right.
Yes, you did.
But here's a really valuable lesson. And for people who do follow the show regularly, you know, we know, Cheryl, you were a little upset over the past few weeks because we got sideswiped. We had something unexpected happen, and then things weren't happening fast enough, and so it sent you spiraling into panic mode, and you felt like your whole world was going to cave in. And it was just a wake-up call. It was a stretch and a test of faith. But I do feel that this new role is going to work out well for you, and it's local, correct?
No, I've packed everything up, including my car. It's on its way to another state very far from here and very rural.
Are we
and
moving
I already
our
have an
family?
apartment waiting for me.
Are we moving our family?
Pardon me?
Our entire family?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, my family is staying behind. They're staying behind, and I'm going to be traveling to a new hospital.
Interesting.
It happened very quickly. And I still, and the family cannot believe it. They're just in shock, and I think they're encouraging it and supporting it. I myself, I'm going through the motions of getting myself there, preparing myself, but I'm not really picturing myself there. So I'm a little nervous, of course, and I'm a little just it's the unknown. Even though I have pictures in front of me to see, it's like the unknown kind of, because it's a whole new chapter, really.
Right. Now, did we get an offer from somebody local, though, and it didn't work out, or?
It was nothing that would have been permanent. It was just as needed, and I need something more substantial to support the family.
Got it. Okay. Well, you are going to be fine. This is a new opportunity, and we need to really, I want you to appreciate the words that you have said, and I want everyone to remember the power of all of our words, myself included, right? Sometimes when we say things, we have to remember that we're building energy and momentum towards that. So we're going to go back and we're going to rehash some things. Think of all the times when you were unhappy in the other job that you had, and then we graduated and we got a new job, right? That were a new role. And then we were happier and things were better, right? But there still was so much going on. And I remember you saying, I'm so exhausted and there's so much going on with my family and I've got to do so much for my family and I need a break and blah, blah, right? You were saying all those things, okay? And so energetically,
I was saying all of that.
Energetically, look where you are now. Catch you later, family. I'm packing up my car. I'm going to live in the woods without any of you.
I kept saying, I even said that tonight. Enjoy the spaghetti and meatballs and sausage. It's the last meal I'm cooking for you.
Exactly. But so, and we're laughing.
No more cooking, no more cleaning.
But understand this. In some way, even though I know there was a little misstep and it led to a series of uncomfortable moments, you've been preparing yourself for this for a while because, you needed to separate so that they would all grow up, no disrespect to your husband, but so that they would all grow up and learn to manage on their own because that was too much for you and to carry all the workload you were doing. So of course a mistake happened at the other job. Of course something was out of whack because it was too much for you. And are you going to miss them? Yes. Do you really want to leave them? Not really. But you need a break. You need separation. You know, and I'm not saying that that job is not a good job. It is a good job, but I kind of feel like you'll find your way back here eventually. But a year break from them, or 6 months, or however long you're going to be there, is perfect.
I agree. And I think, Sarah, I've been stuck in this darkness for so long that this will give me a chance to work on myself and have better, healthier habits and lose some weight and think just about myself and focus on myself and and prove to myself that I can make myself proud and do well and be successful rather than just be in the dark and just kind of drowning myself.
Well, you have been drowning yourself, right? And you were losing yourself in everything that was just too much for you. Yeah. Now you have an opportunity to start again. And again, we are sorry you had to go through all the suffering, the angst, the sorrow, the humiliation, everything you went through. It was all horrible. But in some subtle way, you made this happen. In some subtle way, you made this happen. And I'm saying this to you and everybody. You make these things happen by building the momentum of the conversation you're continuously having, what we're spewing out of our mouth. I'm not happy, I'm this, I'm that, blah, blah, everything that we're saying. Because once your words go out, it is a momentum of energy that is sent out into the universe, and the more force you keep putting behind it, the stronger it gets, and eventually it has no other choice. It is universal law that it must manifest. That's why everyone should take my manifestation class. It's a plug for SarahSpiritual now. But you should take my manifestation class, because we need to know how to direct those words to create the better outcomes instead of these things that catch us off guard.
You're right, and I really think I know that even you said it's unfortunate that you had to go through so much angst and so much sorrow and pain. Yeah. I think I had to. I think, not that I should be punished, but I think I had to go through that to realize how precious everything else is around me that I took for granted or I just overlooked or pushed aside. And now I'm forced into a situation that it's not ideal, but it is a growth period for me and a renewal, like you said earlier to one of the guests that called in, you know, a new beginning, not just because of your birthday, but a new year and a new period for you to grow personally and feel better about yourself.
Exactly. And let's look at the issues we had with our feet and our knees and our back, and because there was too much burden for one person to bear. And so we were buckling up underneath it.
Exactly. Physically, mentally, and it was like you said, it's not allowing you to move forward. You're stuck.
Correct.
Like you're glued to the ground in the same situation over and over again and over and over again. And now finally, this cute little hospital, they want me. And all of the recruiters are also kind and sincere and really want to see me do well. I feel, even though I'm alone, I don't feel like I'm entirely alone.
Good. Well,
I feel positive about it.
I know we'll hear from you again, and you're going to keep us in the loop and keep us posted. So we're very grateful that it worked out for you, and in a very short time, as horrific as it felt as an eternity of torture, you know, really in basically a little bit more than a month, you've bounced right back and you're all right.
Thank God. So far, we'll see how I do. I think I'll be all right.
You'll be fine.
I think I have a lot to live for, you know. I do. I have a lot to look forward to.
Yeah. And, you know, I just heard from Spirit in my head. And remember, God makes lemonade out of lemons, right? So just sit back and sip your lemonade and just know everything's going to be all right, okay? Thank you so much for updating us. We greatly appreciate you. All right. Bye for now. Bye. 866-972-7247. I love happy endings, and I love when we get to say hashtag told you so, because Spirit always tries to stop us from worrying. You know, I've got myself in a couple of little moments where I was like all freaking out and worried, and Spirit would be like, what are you doing? And I'd be like, oh yeah, that's right. It'll be fine. So I'm here to tell you, you just got to trust the universe. The universe always has your back. All right, I've got to go to Barbara. Barbara is in New York, New York. Barbara, how are you?
I'm good, Sarah. How are you?
Good. So you are just loving your new place, your new location, your new home. Yes, you're all settled in from a move a few months ago, yes?
Yeah. Yes, of course.
Yeah, and this is a year for you to really take a look at your finances and see how you can save money and make more money. Have you been looking at your money and trying to figure out how to do that, please?
Yes, I am.
And was there an idea of something we might want to try to do to bring in money that's separate from your day-to-day work?
I was thinking of an investment in mutual funds.
I'm sorry, you cut out. And what were you thinking of doing?
Mutual funds investment.
Okay. So this is the year to make money for you. This is your big money year. So I would focus on making the right choices and investing your money. So your money, it's a good year and vibrational pattern time for you to take your money and move it around to make it work for you.
Okay.
So you're on
Sounds
track
good.
with that. You're on track with that. Now your love life, I don't have much to say about that, but
I know.
that's a sorry state of affairs right about now. But that's all right. We'll get you there.
Yeah,
I'm making a joke, but I know it's not your real priority. But right now is you had to get your move done. You had to get yourself settled. You had to kind of get yourself in a better energy, a better frequency around you. Now you've got to take a look at your money and kind of prepare yourself for your future. And then after we get all the foundational things taken care of, then the universe is going to swoop in and be like, someday my prince will come, right? So your prince will come. It's just we got to get you together, all right?
Sounds good.
It's a good time for you, Barbara. Good time.
Good time. Thank you, Sarah.
You're welcome.
What about the job thing now? What's going on the job?
Well, you know, it has its moments, it has its issues, right? So you want to just ignore the people who start to stir up trouble and keep your head down and keep doing your job because overall they're very happy with you. So don't lose yourself in the drama.
Okay.
You've been there for a while.
Alrighty.
And, you know what to do to survive there.
Pardon me?
You know what to do at your job to survive in spite of some of the foolishness that goes on.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome, Barbara. Thank you for holding. We greatly appreciate your calling in the show, and we wish you the best. Keep us posted. Bye for now.
All right, sure. Thanks a lot.
You're
Bye-bye.
welcome. 866-972-7247. We're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors, and then when we come back, we've got calls all across South Florida, so stay with us, everyone. We'll be right back.
Do you know me? Do I know you? Have we met before? I've been standing in the room before I walk through the door. Do you know me? Have you heard me? Have you seen?
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 866-9-SARAHS. That's 866-972-7247.
Come visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center for an extensive array of spiritual products, crystals, books, classes, readings, and healing services in a beautiful spiritual oasis. You must visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Come feel the energy and explore our unique products. Arrange for your own personal spiritual reading with SarahSpiritual for spiritual insight. The Expedito Enlightenment Center is located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard, Suite 129 in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955. Visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. That's EXPEDITOenlightenmentcenter.com. EDITO enlightenmentcenter.com for yourself. Or for a thoughtful gift, there's no better place to visit than the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955 or visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com.
Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit SarahSpiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up.
Listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah Spiritual and be in the energy of light. Call right now, Sarah Spiritual at 866-9-SARAHS. That's toll free, 866-972-7247. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube.
I've been standing in the room before I walk through the door. Do you know me? Have you heard me? Have you seen me? Do you know my voice? Did you call me with your soul? Because you know that you know me. Every soul has its story, like a movie playing in a different theater.
We are back here live on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, all across the nation at 866-972-7247. And we're going to go back to our phone lines. And if you are in our Facebook and YouTube, go ahead and put your questions in. We're going to do our best to get to some more questions. They're getting those lined up for us, so we'll take a look at that. But in this moment, I've got to go to Sabrina. She's in Margate, Florida. Sabrina, how are you tonight?
Hi, Sarah. How are you?
I'm doing well. Good to reconnect with you.
Yeah. I was calling because I haven't spoken to you in a while, and I figured I'll call you just to hear about my upcoming year. There's been a lot that happened this past year as well. Lost a close family friend, coming up to a year of my aunt's passing. It's just been a lot.
It's been a lot. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, interestingly enough, I see this is also a year of sorting out all of your emotions. It's also a year of getting your life in better balance and order. I think, like the way Spirit shows me, it's, how can I say, complicated for you, because every time you think you're going in the right direction, something pulls on your emotional strings and you get yourself out of whack. And so the question is, what can you, Sabrina, surrender that no longer is working for you? What answers can you come up with? But what can we let go and let God, right? Because your aunt was the person who would be a good, solid person to bounce your ideas off of. She seems like she has this energy of like a friend to you. Is that true?
Mm-hmm.
And this is on Mom's side of the family?
Yes.
She stands above that side, making me feel like when she left in a way that she was trying to hang on. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh,
like she fought to stay.
She's gone too soon. Yeah.
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 And we finally had to tell her to go. But she didn't want to go.
No.
And you had this sense of energy that you knew she was going to be okay. It's just, it's still hard for you to wrap your head around the fact that she's gone. She makes me feel like she has presented herself to you, like psychically, spiritually. She's giving you a sense and awareness that she's with you. She's making me feel that when you celebrate her anniversary time, you can just let her connect with you by being still for a while, giving her some light, a candle, some flowers. She'll do her best to project herself to you.
There's flowers and candles every day for her, every day in my house.
Okay. So she's showing me flowers and candles, so just be still with those flowers and candles. And look in she's telling me to tell you, look in the clouds. Do you ever look in the sky and look at the clouds and see what you see?
Always.
Okay.
Always.
Look in the clouds. You're going to see a message from her in the clouds. That's what she just showed me, clouds. So look in the clouds. You know, some people don't take the time to look at the clouds, so bravo that you're looking.
No.
But for your aunt, she really wants you. She wants you to know that she's going to send you a message there.
Okay.
You know, you're in a transition time of creating all the aspects of life that you want. The balance of love, the balance of money, the balance of everything. I feel like 2025 brings a shift for you in your work career. We're looking for a new role. We're looking to promote, to move up next year, please.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something you're working on? Yes?
Yeah, yeah.
So I want you to look forward to that. I want you to really visualize yourself making that accomplishment. You know, 2025 is going to be the year that you really start to come alive, like you come into your own. You're freed of a lot of the responsibilities that have kept you down and all the things, problems you had to solve for everybody else. And you're going to be like, nope, it's me. I got to do me right now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be a freeing year for you in 2025. All right, my dear?
Okay.
Thank you so much for catching up with
Sarah,
us. Yeah, I do want to let you know
Sarah,
I'm truly sorry.
question.
I know I'm truly sorry that you lost your aunt, but she is with you. And I want you to just keep talking to her because I actually feel like you could almost hear the sound of her voice if you really just still your mind, okay? She's really pushing me to tell you that. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. As I mentioned in the beginning of the call, I did lose a family friend in July, and that was a sudden death for us, and the entire family, along with his family, is taking it very hard. Do you see, or is he connecting by any chance?
Little
my
soon.
son did dream.
Little soon to connect to me, to telepathically connect. But it was something that was sudden, like the heart stopped, or we had a problem with the heart or something. Is that true? Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm getting. But I'm getting that from my guides. I'm not getting it from him because he can't telepathically tell me that yet. Well, my guides are telling me there was a sudden stop in the heart and poof, it was gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh boy.
So, but I'm sure he will connect with you, and I know that once he settles in, it'll be easier for me to make the connection to bring him forth to connect with you. All right, my dear?
Yeah. Sarah, thank you so much. As
My
always,
pleasure.
you are always on point, and you always make my conversations with you easy and understandable, and I appreciate you taking the time to talk to all of us.
You're welcome.
You make our evenings when we do listen to you very peaceful, and I come out of it happy, and I'm sure many others do as well.
I appreciate your saying that.
So thank you
so
for
much.
what you do.
My pleasure. God bless you. Bye for now.
Thank you, Sarah. Take care.
You're welcome. 866-972-7247. Let's see what we've got in our Facebook feed before we go back to our phone lines. Who do we have in our Facebook feed? Anybody popping up? Should have some questions there. Do we have them ready? All right, we'll give it another few minutes over there while they get the questions ready here for us on Facebook and YouTube. We're going to go to Susan, and Susan is in Deerfield. Susan, how are you?
I'm doing great. I wanted to thank you, Sarah, for taking my call.
You're welcome. Good to connect with you, Susan. Is this your first time calling the show?
Yes, and I'm so glad I found it, and will continue to listen. You're wonderful. And
thank you.
It's, it's great that Spirit is guiding everyone that's calling in. I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. It's always my pleasure to do this, Susan, and we've been hanging out here for 15 years just answering questions. I can't believe that much time has gone by.
Well,
I'm like, holy crow.
Better late than never. So
yeah. Well, we welcome you. So
thank you. Okay. So my situation is that I am moving from Florida to Utah to take care of my dad, who is 90, but he suffers from paranoia.
Yeah.
So my question is, will my dad and I get along, and all, without my sister's interference, because she has been no help with this situation at all.
Yeah, we just met, honey, but let me just tell you what Spirit's saying. Spirit says your sister's a bit of a bully. She likes things to be her way or the highway, and I feel like when we look at what you have here before you, it's going to be a big adjustment, right? You have to kind of come in like the gentle lamb. Your dad is, does he have a bit of a dementia with him, please?
Yeah. Okay. Yes, but the family is in denial with that. My mom and I were the only ones that recognized any of this, and the family has been in denial for years.
So, and unfortunate for that, because perhaps they could have made it a little easier for him in this transition, right? But your dad is truly shutting down. And when I look at his energy and I look at, first of all, they're talking about his mobility in his legs. Is he a little shaky on his walking or his movement, please? Is he a little off balance?
Yes. Mm-hmm. That's one reason why I'm going out, because he's fallen before and broke his wrist. So
okay. This is what we're seeing, so thank you for that confirmation. So that I'm just going to continue for a minute. Mm-hmm. So I want you to just be careful with that, because when he gets agitated, he gets they're showing me a picture, and you're not there to see this, so if I could stand up and show you, I would, but I can't because I'd lose track of the microphone. But it's like he gets like kind of stompy, and he just kind of gets very jilted in his movements, and that's what can send him off. So him being calm and not getting agitated and kind of like starting to shake when he feels confronted in one of his episodes, as Spirit calls it, is going to be most advantageous. You have to try to keep him calm in that time, particularly when he's standing, right? What is Dad's birthday? I need his birthday to check something for you. What is his birthday?
It's 11/13/1933.
Okay. And I don't know what you know about Dad's childhood, but my guides make me feel like at one point things were just a lot for him, or he had a lot of responsibility, a lot on his plate. There was a lot going on. Did your dad have a lot of responsibility when he was in his childhood that you know of?
Well, he was the oldest, so I think,
okay.
He felt responsible for taking care of his mother, and
Everybody.
his father was a
Yes.
bit harsh.
Okay, thank you. So that's how I see it. I see the responsibility. So it's almost like he can't handle any stressors right now because it's almost like he's done too much. He's had too much responsibility. He doesn't know what he's doing, right? So we need to make him feel like, he has a say in things, but he doesn't have the weight of the world on his shoulders. This is what Spirit is saying. So your sister comes in like a bull in a china shop. You're going to come in like the gentle lamb and really just have that energy, right? And
yes,
it's going to be an interesting dynamic between you and your sister because she just wants everything to be the way she wants it to be, and I will guarantee you that some of what you go to do for your father, she's going to label as interference. And I don't say this to get you riled up so that you go in there ready for a fight with her. I'm just saying this so don't take it personal. Don't engage with the bully. Just let her, have her little temper tantrum and then proceed to do what you need to do because you are uprooting your life to make sure that your father's okay. What else did you need to add to the conversation? Because I know that I had kind of had to keep going at one point because Spirit was continuing to talk. Is there anything else that you needed to add or ask regarding this situation for me?
No, I am very happy. I was very upset with my sister just because no matter what I suggest, it's wrong. So I basically took it upon myself to say it's time to move. So thank you.
You're welcome.
This has calmed me down, and I like the advice you gave me. So I will not confront my sister. I'll let her ramble on, and then I'll do what I need to do.
Exactly. And when you're in Utah, do know that you can watch the show live on YouTube and Facebook, if you're not listening on our local radio stations. And you always have iHeartRadio to tune in as well. If you can't quite pull up a video, you can follow us on the iHeartRadio app. Just look up the stations. And you'll be all set. So that will help you as well.
Many thanks to you and Spirit. I feel so much better than I did before the call. So
my pleasure.
It has been worth it. So thank you again.
You're welcome. Bye for now. Bye.
Bye.
866-972-7247. I've got to go to Illinois. I've got Eileen on the line. Eileen, how are you?
Hi, Sarah. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much.
I'm glad you're safe.
Oh, yes, we are. We're very glad as well. And, we just are praying for everybody here in South Florida that's kind of picking through some of the mess that was created. I know a few people didn't fare well, but we know everything is in God's hands. Thank you for that.
Right. Yes, of course. My question, I haven't talked to you in a long time. I moved. I had to move, and I'm in a temporary, I don't know how temporary it is. I moved in with family, not my family, and I'm here, and I just kind of don't know how long this will last or if something's going to open up for me.
Okay. Is this something that's better for you, was better for you financially? It was a financial choice. Is that true?
Yes.
Okay. I feel as if something will open up for you, but I feel like you're going to be there for a while. Could be 6 months, just kind of the vibe, could be a year. It's like you need a reset, right? I don't feel like all your ducks are in a row for you to take on a place, a small little place. I think we need to wait to find something open up in maybe a senior community, a senior living, something that would be more affordable and easy for you. So I feel that you're in a safe place. To me that's always an important thing, right? We want to make sure that you're safe, right? And I feel like you've got a
Right.
solid roof over your head. You know, is it the ideal situation? Probably not, but it's a situation to be grateful for because God has given you a solution to something that you didn't have an answer for and you felt very fearful. Is that also true?
Right. Yes, it is.
So as we move you forward in the direction of what you want to create for yourself, I want you to visualize yourself in your own little studio apartment, walking in, hanging out, paying the apartment, and it's only X amount of dollars, and it being easy peasy. I want you to see yourself meeting new people, making new friends. This is what I want you to say as you're sitting there in this nice roof over your head in this nice little spot. I want you to visualize what the next chapter of your life is going to look like. I want you to visualize yourself walking around and maybe meeting a companion, talking to someone, and, you know, making friends, meeting a companion, just changing your life. This year for you is the year where you have the power to kind of leave the way life was and let go of the past and create the journey to a new connection with people, a new community. And I know there's a lot of memories and things and reminiscing that you're doing, and you may feel like you've given up a lot, but I feel like it's kind of like a stepping back so that you can step forward into something that'll be easier and won't have that fear associated with it, that angst, that concern as to how am I going to keep this up? How am I going to keep all the balls in the air? Does this make sense to you, Eileen?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
It does.
So it's important that you just trust that you're here for a reason.
Okay.
Is there a follow-up question to this for me, Eileen?
Yes, there is.
Okay.
Do you see someone special coming into my life?
I do. That's why I want you out and meeting people so we can meet a companion. Right?
Okay.
You know, I want you to be in that mode. I do feel that that's possible. And I feel that 2025 really has the frequency, the vibration that is conducive to attract partnerships, friendships, connections of the heart. It is like a sense of family, right? A sense of, I belong here. Oh, I am connected to this person. I belong in this group of friends. I belong with this person that I've met. You know, we're in sync. That's what I see.
Okay.
So it's a good time for you. It's a reset. That's all it is.
Yeah.
I'm hearing this song in my head. It's memories light the corners of my mind. Misty watercolor memories of the way we were. And I want you to look at that, the way you were, it served a purpose, but now we're coming into the way we are. And the way we are is getting ready for a whole new beginning. This really strong, heartfelt connection of, I'm not in it alone anymore. And I don't have to look back at the past and think about how things were and what they were. I can really embrace life in this sense of I'm ready to take anything on right now. I hope I'm of help to you today, Eileen.
Okay. Yes, you have been. Thank you so much, Sarah.
You're welcome,
God
Eileen.
bless you.
God bless you, and start to bundle up. I'm sure it's getting a little chilly there in Illinois.
It is.
Yeah, we have the nerve to say we have our cold front coming in because we dropped 2 degrees, but we know you genuinely have dropped a bit. So, you know, bundle up, send me a snowflake, and I'm sure we'll talk soon. All right, honey, thank you so much. Bye for now. Bye. 866-972-7247. Do we have a question on Facebook and YouTube that I want to pull up here? Did we get something in? I know she said she was sending them over, so... All right, let's pull one up. Let's grab that call, and then we're going to see if we can get to Fort Lauderdale. Let's see what we've got here on our Facebook feed. There we go. I don't know that he has it, so there we go. Okay. Lois, she says hi, and she says hello to Helena. She says hello to me. She says there's something specific I'm supposed to do when I am in Chicago. I'll be there the next 2 weeks. Interesting question. So Lois, one of the things I feel strongly is for you to connect with nature, to connect with bodies of water there, to connect with, they're talking about the pier, something about being at the pier, the Navy pier. There's something there for you to see at the Navy pier, something for you to touch base with there, and really connect with nature. And because I know who you are, Lois, my guides are telling me to tell you, and capture it. Capture the beauty. Capture the crispness, the fullness. And they're also talking to me about a connection with a person or people. So I feel like there's going to be a friendship that is connecting, or a new friendship. So I want you to look for connection, because there's something about connecting with people besides nature and admiring the beauty that's around you and grounding yourself. I really feel like there's some personal connection that's supposed to be important in this trip. Keep us posted on this, and enjoy the Navy Pier, according to what Spirit is telling me. Thank you so much, Lois, for your question. Let me see if I can get to Fort Lauderdale. Is Christine there on the line? Christine, are you there?
Yes. Hi.
Hello,
How are you?
Christine. I'm good. Thank you so much for your call. What is your question for us tonight?
Just want to know what Spirit sees coming up in my life, and if Spirit sees anything else.
Well, what I feel like is you're a bit out of sorts right now, Christine. You're spending a little too much time in your head. Things are not lining up the way you want them to. You're looking to make some changes for yourself, but you just don't know how to get from where you are to where you think you want to be. But there's even a question as to what it is you really want. Is that true?
Similar, yes.
Okay. And there's conflict with a particular person around you as well, please, Christine? Who do you have a question about?
Well, it's just this year's been really hard for me, and I lost like 2 loved ones in my family that passed away. So I don't know if you see
I'll see if they come
anyone
through.
coming through.
I'll see if they come through, but I know that this year for you has kind of left you kind of scratching your head. But I also feel that in the passing of one of these loved ones, there seems to be some disagreements or some misunderstandings. Like it's kind of gotten everybody's emotions highly charged, and we're not all on the same page. Is that true?
Yeah.
Male energy stands above you. This makes sense to you? Male energy. There's a male who passed. Yes, please.
Yes.
Father
Yeah,
energy, please.
My father have passed, but the one
Okay.
that just passed was my brother.
Okay. Your father is the one who's stepping forward right now. Okay? If your brother just passed, it's a little too soon in this time for me to make a connection with him. But do know that your father is standing there above you, and Dad is with you. So during this difficult time, your dad is with you.
Okay.
All right? Brother passed unexpectedly, tragically, yes?
It was due to cancer.
Who is the person who is male who passed unexpectedly and tragically in your family? Because I have someone showing me an unexpected, tragic passing. Are you aware of that one?
No.
Okay. So we're going to have to go back and check into that, honey.
Well, I know my mom had, I believe it was her uncle that died in a plane crash.
That would be tragically, unexpectedly. Yes, thank you. So that individual male energy is with you, all right? In this minute, we're getting ready to wave off the end of the show, so I thank you so much. I know we tried to take your call a little earlier, and somehow I don't know that you didn't hear us or we weren't able to connect with you. But your dad is definitely with you, honey. I'm sorry it's been such a rough time. I know your head's feeling a little scattered and out of sorts. Things are going to balance out for you a bit. I look forward to connecting with your brother when it's a little more time so that I can bridge that connection for you. Know that your dad's with you, as well as your mother's brother, your uncle, is with you as well. So you're getting support on the other side so that you know that you're not alone, and that if they're all right, just trust and understand that your brother is all right as well. Christine, for this minute, I've got to pop off. I thank you so much for being a part of our show and our condolences, all right?
Okay.
Thank you. Bye for now.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye.
866-972-7247. Write the number down. I'd love to meet you next Wednesday night at 6:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. for Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. If you'd like to connect with me personally, you can go to SarahSpiritual.com. I look forward to connecting with you personally or next week on our show. Thanks so much. Good night. God bless you. And I am Sarah Spiritual.
We have to listen to
This has been Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. You can hear and speak with Sarah Spiritual every Wednesday from 6:30 to 9 p.m. Each week, Sarah Spiritual and Spirit answer your most important questions as you navigate through life. Listen and call in next week and let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit guide you. If you didn't have a chance to speak with Sarah Spiritual tonight, visit Sarah at SarahSpiritual.com. You can message Sarah Spiritual at Facebook and follow her on Instagram. Tune in every Wednesday from 6:30 to 9 p.m. with more from Spiritually Speaking with Sarah.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
WSFS 104.3.